This is part three. But as I was saying before, it's a lot of craziness going on considering the military, right? And the military, nobody really wants to join it because they know that there's corruption. So they're like, why would we go and fight for a country uh that's not aligned with the same values, right? So it says military decline. The army faced challenges recruiting Roman citizens, leading to a reliance on less loyal foreign mercenaries and a weakened defense of the empire's vast borders, right? You know, leading to a reliance on less loyal foreign mercenaries. That sounds like the relationship they had with Zelensky and Ukraine, right? They're relying on these people to go and fight the war, the proxy war they have with Russia, with Vladimir Putin. And it's not going good because you see what DJT did a couple of months ago concerning Vladimir Zelensky, or Volodymyr Zelensky. When he kind of bitched him out, he kind of made him look like a sucker in front of national television, right? Made him, he didn't punked him out, right? So and that's just made things look even crazier. That's why the citizens don't even want to deal with that, because they're figuring out that the wars that Babylon the Great is having, aka America is having, are corruptible wars. So let's get to the key events and developments. As a matter of fact, I wanted to actually show this one, but they might flag me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And I'm also going to mute the audio, and I'm just going to play I'm going to read the caption for you all. But the title of this, it says, protesters clash with federal agents in Chicago as ICE raids continue. I wanted to get this for it says the key events and development crisis of the third century. A period of intense internal conflict, economic trouble, and invasions that severely weakened the empire. And this is to show you this. Protesters clash with federal agents in Chicago as ICE raids continue. So let's see what they say. It says protesters clashing with federal agents in Chicago as ICE steps up President Trump's immigration crackdown. Agents and demonstrators pushing and shoving outside an ICE facility just outside the city this morning, and appears some of the protesters were actually detained, because they're detaining the protesters, which you can't actually do that. That's actually kind of illegal to do unless they're inhibiting ICE from doing their job, which I'm not sure if they are or not. We're about to find out. It says that clash started shortly after Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino were seen on the building's roof with armed agents and a production crew. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. Hold on. I'm joined now by Mayor Kawash from our Chicago station, WLS. He's coming to us from near that ICE facility in Broadview, Illinois. So, Mayor, just tell us how this all went down. So, well, we do know at least 5 protesters have been detained by law enforcement officials here this morning for really not obeying some of the signals to stay off the street here or getting too close to these federal agents. I want to show you what's developed here in the last 30 minutes behind us. They're adding even more security to this back entrance of the Broadview facility. See, look, they don't understand by complete constantly keep protesting, right? All DJT is going to do is declare martial law, and then that's when Jacob's trouble will pop off, y'all. But this is just an example on how the instability of the internal conflicts is going to cause a collapse to happen, right? Which was a part of the downfall of the Western Roman Empire. And it says division of the empire, which I was just saying. Emperor Diocletian split the empire into eastern and western halves in 284 CE, a measure that ultimately did not prevent the decline of the West. So I don't know, this could be up next, where the southern and the northern states are, or the western and the eastern states are segregated. This could be happening next. You never know, because certain states are against certain other states. You know what I mean? And it says that in the scriptures that neighbor are going to be against neighbor, city is going to be against city, and all that. I believe that's Second Ezra 16 and was it 75? No. Let me see, y'all. I'm about to check it out. Second Edges. Oh, is this Second Edges? Yeah. 16. Alright. Alright, here we go. It says the writing wrath on monster control over you. Consider the derision and contentment should be trampled underfoot, for in many places in neighboring cities there should be a great uprising against those who fear shall be managed. I mean, that's one of them, but I know it was city against city, neighbor against neighbor. All right, but I'm not gonna spend too much time on trying to get that one, y'all. But if you all know what it is, leave it off in a comment board. It says a sack of Rome, right? The Visigoth sacking of Rome was a symbolic event that demonstrated the empire's vulnerability and further fractured its authority. And the fact that all of those, and that's true. That's what's happening in Babylon the Great now. Like, because of the invasion, so to speak, from Northern Kingdom coming in, or really they were being allowed to come in. Because of this, it showed cracks in the government's ability to regulate and to keep control over things, and their authority seemed to be lacking. So most people are losing their respect for the authorities that are at hand, and they're not gonna listen to them. Let me see. Oh, here was the scripture right here, right? The sword and the good. No, that's not it. That's not it, y'all. No, that's not it, y'all. But I kind of forgot where I was even getting at. So like, y'all. Let me not even try to get that no more.